Hey, welcome back to Global Environment. We're now taking our little trip through some biomes, cluing you in on some of the important features of those biomes. So let's start with kind of an interesting biome that most people are unfamiliar with. That is Mediterranean shrublands. Another name for this is chaparral. As you can imagine, you often see this around the Mediterranean, but also in places like Southern California, a little bit in the Southern Hemisphere as well. Now, what do you find here? These areas are interesting because you have shorter trees, often they're conifers, some aromatic plants, but the climate is really characterized. Here's some shots I took in Italy, kind of neat. You can see the trees in the background. They're characterized by the weather patterns, and that is that the rains come mainly in the winter when it's cool, not in the growing season, and it's very dry in the summer. And that has, again, an impact on the size of plants you grow. They're often constrained by the precipitation. Beautiful Italia. They're also very impacted by fire, so keep that in mind. Another biome that is very impacted by fire are boreal forests or Taiga. And you see these in the high north. They make up quite a bit of the forested land in the world. These are characterized by conifers, spruce, pine trees. And what controls this area? They're fairly dry and very cold, and especially cold in the winter, very short summer growing season. Here's a shot I took. You get the long winter nights up in places like Finland. Contrasting with that are temperate broadleaf deciduous forests. I'm talking, I'm coming to you from New York. This is what most people on the East Coast think is normal, even though it really makes up just a small portion of the Earth's surface area. And what you have are moderately cold winters, moderately warm summers, large trees that drop their leaves. And here's some shots from the nearby Renaissance Festival. We also are going to talk about the tundra, and that would be in the high north areas, or you could even think Antarctica. There's tundra there as well. What should you know about tundras? One is very cold, very, very short growing season. Here's a shot of the pipeline in Alaska. You also have permafrost, where portions of the soils are frozen year-round. And again, because of this cold, very short growing season, short grasses, sedges, lichens, low productivity. But in some cases, you get some very large animals. And, like a grizzly here, these systems are often subsidized by the nearby oceans, if there are oceans nearby. Here's a shot of another biome, mini biome, maybe an ecosystem, but we're doing it from a historical perspective. We're going to talk about coral reefs, and here's an ancient coral reef in the Dahlak Islands in East Africa. And what you see here is when the sea level was higher, a coral reef was formed. These organisms, these cnidaria, build up calcium carbonate skeletons, and they're able to build the reefs through that mechanism, and they also form a symbiotic relationship with algae for energy and nutrients. Now, look at this ancient reef. The sea level dropped, and now the ocean's cutting underneath it. And this was kind of exciting to see when I was in East Africa and got a good picture of it. Like I said, so here we have are the corals, hard calcium carbonate with basically animals on the surface, these cnidaria that collect food out of the ocean nearby. High diversity, a lot of different types of fish, a lot of different types of coral. High productivity as well, subsidized by the nutrients that are flowing into these systems. There's a shot of not only some different types of coral like brain coral, but you also have a giant clam here as well. Some more coral, different types of fish. This is East Africa still. Here's a reef in Puerto Rico, a lot more fan corals. This is near Culebra. It's another shot. Looks a bit different, but again, high diversity, high productivity, impacted a great deal by water pollution. And in Puerto Rico especially, you can see this, a lot of coral bleaching occurring. All right, so that's where we're going to stop. Those are the major biomes we're going to look at in this course. We're going to come back to these when we look at ecosystems and when we talk about ecosystem structure and function. So I'll see you next time.